Welcome back to my views and news. Three news stories. First one is about Epiphany Ethiopia celebrations in Ethiopia and Eritrea. Were there any celebrations in Mekelle? Because there were no Katira celebrations in Mekelle on Wednesday. Secondly, an Ethiopian minister who was relieved a few days ago from his duties is going to be appointed to African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa reportedly. Thirdly, was a very important news story. Oromia regional government, Shimalis Abdisa, the president, say that they are ready to talk to the Oromo Liberation Army. What does it mean? Can there be talks between OLA and Oromia regional government? What was regional government's previous position about talks with OLA? What is OLA's position? Is there any likelihood of direct talks between OLA and Oromia regional government? We have details for you. Firstly, viewers, Orthodox Christians in Ethiopia are celebrating Epiphany, Temket. Large religious gatherings are being seen in Ethiopia, in Eritrea as well. Gondar is the hub of these celebrations, though we are seeing celebrations across Ethiopia, in SNNPR, in Oromia, in Somali region, Amhara region obviously, in Tigray. Several large gatherings have been held. In Tigray too, we have seen celebrations in Matthew, in Mekelle, other cities of Tigray too. There were no Katira religious gatherings in Mekelle yesterday. We have confirmed that. We could not find any pictures, videos from Mekelle. But today, Epiphany is being celebrated there. In Asmara, Eritrean capital, there was colorful celebration of Epiphany. Only one point I want to make. General Abeba Tadesse was seen celebrating Epiphany in Gondar. He was seen with Amhara regional president, Yilkal Gifale. Birhanu Naga was there too, leader of Azima party, education minister of Ethiopia. And journalist Tamaskin Dasalin, who remained in prison for several months, was seen in Gondar too. Is Abeba Tadesse from Gondar? I think he is Amhara. People say he is from Amhara ethnic group. Is this the reason that he is celebrating Epiphany in Amhara region, in Gondar? Do these people who are top men in Ethiopia, do they attend celebrations in areas from where they are? Or do they attend celebrations according to their ethnicity? That those from Amhara region are in Gondar, those in Oromia would be in Oromia. Secondly, an Ethiopian minister who was relieved, who was removed from the cabinet, federal cabinet, is going to be appointed to a new position. Dagmawit Moges was Ethiopian transport minister, part of PM Abiy's federal cabinet. And almost a week ago, PM Abiy fired, relieved, you can say, 4 ministers. Dagmawit was one of them. 2 ministers were appointed as ambassadors to some countries. Third one was Minister of Mining, Takale Oma, who is still without any portfolio. No new responsibility given to Takale Oma. Dagmawit Moges was Minister of Transport, removed, and now she's being appointed to African Union headquarters in Addis Ababa. She will be heading African Union Peace Fund reportedly, which is related to activities in conflict areas. Post-conflict activities are the area of work of this peace fund, which is going to be led by Dagmawit Moges. Takale Oma still without any portfolio. Lastly, was very important news stories about Oromo Liberation Army. Will there be talks between OLA and regional government, federal government? What is OLA's position? Oromia regional government, Oromia President Shimales Abdisa, they have been heard saying that they are ready to talk to OLA. Firstly, it's a slight shift in Oromia regional government's position, because a few days ago they were saying that there would be no talks with OLA. They were terrorists. OLA were terrorists. Shene, terrorists. So action will continue against them. But now you're seeing that regional government is ready to talk. Next point is what is going to be the mechanism of talks acceptable to Oromo Liberation Army? And is this offer of talks from regional government result of some pressure, political pressure in Oromia upon regional government and federal government? Because if you remember, a few days ago, dozens of members of Oromia Regional Parliament wrote a letter to PM Abiy and other top men in Ethiopia, like Speaker of House of Federation, Speaker of House of Representatives, and they asked for start of talks with OLA to find a peaceful solution to ongoing unrest in Oromia. While government was launching major offensives, military offensives against OLA, and offensives still underway, regional parliament members, they called for talks. And OLA in its statements has also been offering to talk to the government. But if you remember, read some videos about OLA's offer of talks. OLA in the past laid out some preconditions that talks can only be held by removing commanders, negotiators from conflict area, by launching this process in a neutral region, neutral state, and by having international monitoring and oversight. OLA wants TPLF Ethiopian government style talks, which were held in Pretoria, South Africa, and then in Nairobi, Kenya, with involvement of UN, US, Africa Union, IGAD. Oromia regional government tried to talk to OLA, federal government, through Abagadas, who are traditional tribal elders in Oromia. OLA rejected that effort by regional government. OLA said that Abagadas were not empowered. They were not in a position to enforce the provisions, if agreed, in case of an agreement between OLA and government forces. So OLA's position is clear. It wants talks, but it does not want talks just between one OLA, but two OLA commanders and a few members of federal forces, regional forces, or members of regional federal governments. It wants third parties involved. Who will this third party be acceptable to the two sides? And will the government agree to internationalizing Oromia region's conflict? So far, government is trying to keep this conflict an internal issue. It does not want regional, international players involved in the solution. The two sides are still at the loggerheads when it comes to mechanism of talks. Where will talks be held? How will talks be held? Who will monitor? How will the provisions be implemented? Why? Because OLA refers to a past development which happened in 2018 when OLA fighters, OLF fighters surrendered, but they say that federal government betrayed them. And it does not want same to happen again. It wants a third party. That is why Shimales Abdisa's offer of talks regional governments offer of talks will have to be monitored in coming days. We're waiting for OLA's response, which OLA will, I think, make public in coming hours, which would be what I said, I think. Let's see. There will be incoming videos about OLA's response to a government's offer of talks. Thank you for watching.